Hello everybody. My name is Ahmed Shariff. I'm 30 years old. I'm a stand-up comedian. I've been doing comedy professionally for the past 4.5 years, and what can I say, man? It's been an amazing journey. Money, fame, wealth, women, power. I still hope to get these things someday. So I want to talk about my journey in the industry of stand-up comedy and show business in general. I want to start off by saying that I am actually one of you. I'm also an engineer. Yeah. Thank you. But congratulations to you guys for the fact that you got into an engineering college. Because let me tell you, despite what the internet tells you, engineering is an amazing field. You'll do really well in life. Like, don't put too much faith into those social media online articles that tell you things like 10 reasons why you should quit your engineering job and follow your dreams and become a circus monkey. Like, nonsense. That's what these articles do not tell you is that behind every success story, there are 1,000 failures that they never tell you about. Listen to my long side story, you'll know what I'm talking about, okay? So yes, I'm an engineer. I did my engineering back in Mysore. I'm an overqualified engineer. What do you mean by that? It's a 4-year course. I did it for 7, so. Wow, for some reason my parents didn't sound so happy. So yeah, 1 year I flunked, and another 2 years I had to voluntarily withdraw because of some family personal problems at home. I remember I went up to the examinations in charge and told him, "Sir, I need to get detained." And he reacted like any other normal person, which is, "Are you okay in the head?" I'm like, "Yes, sir, please do the needful." But it was a genuine case. I managed to convince him, and upon my request, my attendance was altered, made me look like I had insufficient attendance, and I was not eligible to take the exam. Yes! So I moved to Bangalore. I worked for 2 years, and then I quit my job and went back to finish my engineering because, come on, how much forward can you move in life earning only 14,000 rupees a month with no hopes of growth? But this time when I went back to finish my engineering, in internals, I started scoring 80%, 90%. One of my lecturers called me and he was like, "Hey, come here, man, what has happened to you?" I'm like, "Sir, I've worked for 2 years in Bangalore. I have seen what life is. Now I know the value of education." And so I finished my engineering, and I made the huge mistake of joining a sales job in Bangalore. Back-breaking work, very little money. In fact, I was so broke that every day after work, I had to work an online job for 2-3 hours extra just to earn 4,000 rupees extra a month. New in the city, no friends, no money to go out. It was a very sad life. I hated my life. Then in August 2010, I was sitting in my PG, and I saw this article in the newspaper about how stand-up comedy was really picking up in the city. And I wanted to go and audition, but I remember I couldn't go because I didn't have proper shoes to wear. I didn't even have money for petrol to go there. I was that broke. So I forgot about it, and you know, I worked in Infantry Road, and I lived in a PG in Ashok Nagar. You know, life can be really cruel sometimes. Here I was, breaking my back to earn less than 20,000 rupees a month, and every day to go home, I had to pass through MG Road, Brigade Road, like the most glamorous part of town. See all these rich kids coming to party with their cars and their fancy clothes and their girlfriends, and I, poor ugly little engineer with his little briefcase and his formals, had to pass through that. Every day I had to look at that, you know? You know, that's when I decided, one day I'm going to get that life, okay? I don't know when, I don't know how, but I am going to get there. Because guys, dream big, okay? Dream big, because if you want to achieve something, no matter how ridiculously ambitious it looks, here is the thought process involved. This is where you are, and this is where you want to reach. It might look impossible, but what you have to do is like work practically, logically, acquire the skill set and the characteristics and the attitude that will get you there. Months and months and probably years of hard work later, you'll reach here maybe. Now it still looks impossible, but it's less impossible than what it was last year. You've made progress. And as you advance, you'll notice that you'll get closer and closer, and your unrealistic dream will soon start looking more realistic. So keep marching on. Some people get there fast, some like me get there slow, but you will get there. And you have to follow some good practice. Just follow good habits, okay? Like read biographies of successful people and follow good habits, good business practices, good ethics. Remember, early to bed, early to rise means you have no social life. All work and no play makes Jack very rich and very lonely. I'll give you an example. Like one day after a really bad day at work, I was going back home. Really, really bad day. I just wanted to go home and relax. No, I had to work for 2-3 hours more. Just when I thought my day couldn't get any worse, my bike runs out of fuel. Man, that was like one of the lowest points in my life. I was so dispirited. It didn't even have the spirit to cry. Why do these bad things happen to me? Bad luck after bad luck after bad luck. Like even among my friends, I was known as the guy with incredible bad luck. Every friend circle has that one guy. It was me. I'll tell you a true story. Once I was just hanging out with my friends, and this guy called Syed was smoking. The wind was blowing smoke in my face. I'm a non-smoker. So I just like walked over to his other side and stood there. And he tells the group, everybody watch this. He took a puff, blew straight. Believe it or not, immediately the wind changed direction and blew smoke in my face. Like, that's the kind of bad luck I was famous for. Legend, I was a legend. So, anyway, that evening, my bike ran out of fuel. I started pushing my bike about 1 kilometer to home. Again, passing through MG Road, Brigade Road, like, I went back to my sad little PG, and that evening I thought a lot, okay? I thought a lot about life, about luck, about my situation. And the result of all that thought was some change. I started doing certain things. From then on, I would ensure that my bike was always fueled up, my phone was full of balance, that my clothes were all washed and ironed, my shoes were polished, my socks were clean, essential supplies like soap, shampoo, shaving razors, I had everything. Guess what, you guys? Overnight, my luck changed. So you see, sometimes it's just a matter of some planning and organization. There is no bad luck, evil spirit, or evil God sitting up there to destroy your life. It just takes a little logic. Right? Sometimes you think life is not treating you well, but the truth is maybe you are not treating life well. But no amount of logic was helping me in my job, not meeting my sales targets. I was about to get fired. Then on Monday, May 30th, 2011, I saw this article in the newspaper. Stand-up comedy picking up in the city. I wanted to go try. I called up Kaira Theatre. The manager, Prashil was his name. He asked me to come next week, and I will never forget that date when I went. Actually, I did forget it, so. Yeah, Tuesday, 7th June 2011. But this day, my senior boss from Mumbai had come down, and we were all supposed to go out for drinks with him. So I called up, dialed Prashil's number to call him, tell him I won't be coming. Thank goodness he did not answer his call. Like, I shudder to think how close I came to all of this happening, like the importance of luck. He did not answer the call, so I couldn't cancel, so I had to go. So I went, and on this day, historic day, I gave the very first performance of my life. The people didn't clap this much. It was horrible, so. But it went fairly okay for a first time, and after the show, this one guy called Andrew came up to me and he told me, hey, you know what? My friend Perry runs this cafe called Urban Solace. You should try there. Guess what, you guys? At that point, I lived over here near Alsur Lake. My work was here. Urban Solace was right in the middle. I had literally passed that place hundreds of times. Never did I realize it would play such an important role in my life. And so I went there. I performed. It went fairly well. And Sandeep Rao was the MC that night. He invited me again to perform that weekend at this place called Bacchus. It went well again. Very first week of my life, 3 shows. I don't know where it was going to lead me, but I knew one thing. My life was never going to be the same again. Then in July 2011, I got fired from my job. Finally. And also my roommate vacated at the same time, so I lost my job and my rent was doubled. Beautiful. And at a time like this, when I needed so much money, like not even help from family, like competition company in Vijayanagar wanted to hire me for double money. I'm like, you guys, I need a full-time salary just for the job of traveling to Vijayanagar. I'm not doing this. So I turned on the big money job offer, and it was a stupid decision, but sometimes it's these rash and stupid decisions that lead to great things. Then September 2011, no job, nothing, with great difficulty. I managed to save some money, took a train ticket and traveled to Mumbai and performed at the very prestigious Comedy Store. It went okay. I didn't win the competition. Then I came back, and in October 2011, I was one of the finalists selected to open for Veer Das, the biggest comedian in India. You might recognize Tanmay Bhatt and Ashish Shakya from AIB. Announcing me the winner of one of the qualifying rounds. But I did not win the final rounds, I lost again. Then again in October, I went again to Mumbai, again I lost. Looking back now, I think those losses were a huge blessing. Because I feel the one thing more than any other that has made me a better performer is rejection. Because rejection did not make me give up, it made me look at my own flaws. It made me better myself, come back again and try harder, then lose again, go back and try harder again. Like, it made me better, it made me a lot better. And I would see a lot more rejection and disappointment in the next 3 years to follow. So what is the moral of the story? No, that is a really bad piece of advice, let me tell you, because sometimes giving up and retreating is the smart thing to do. And I made my decision. I was always broke. I used to do a lot of things for money, whatever, like editorial work, and I even became a martial arts kickboxing trainer, many things, and comedy would pump in a little money now and then, but I finally made my decision. I quit, I can't do this anymore. After 3 years, I started looking for an engineering job. But in early 2014, around the same time, I wrote this joke called Urdu and its dialects. It's on YouTube on my channel, you can check it out. And that became such a big hit. People started loving it, I started getting a lot of laughs, and suddenly I was in demand. Thought maybe I'll wait for a few more months, see where this takes me. So I started getting shows now, but then I kind of felt that the senior comedians were still not giving me enough opportunities. I had half a mind to go and confront them about this. But one day, scrolling through my Facebook feed, I saw this quote. This one quote that is so powerful, it changed my life. Be so good that they can't ignore you. Steve Martin, the Pink Panther guy. That's when I realized, instead of going and begging people to give me a chance, why don't I just shine through my work? Right? They should call me, not the other way around. Like, so I started performing at every show like my life depended on it, because my life really did depend on it. And very soon, even the harshest of my critics came up to me and said, you know, Ahmed, I don't usually say this about you, but I really liked your performance tonight. Those exact words. That's it, man. I became a full-time comedian. Engineering, cancelled. Now, don't let this inspire you guys to leave your engineering. Okay, that's not my point. Please notice I finished my degree and I moved to comedy only after I had a solid footing in the industry, okay? And it's such a luxury to have engineering as a backup plan. Basically, the point of my talk is, don't be like me, study. And then there started the era of YouTube videos. Just because a few comedians became famous through YouTube, everybody and their mother started putting up YouTube videos now. And they sent me inbox messages with links, some of them, and quite frankly, they were terrible. I did not jump on the bandwagon. Thankfully, I had the good sense to realize that I am not good enough. See, the thing is, before you put out a product for millions of people to see, you have to realize that the product itself should be something awesome, something that people would want to buy. Otherwise, you're just inviting more people to witness your mediocrity. So I removed myself from the scene. I mean, confidence is good, but sometimes you have to understand your limitations. So I removed myself from the scene and started working on myself. I actually filmed myself at home, observed the way I walk and talk, my accent, my delivery, the way I dress. And during this process of introspection and self-realization, I realized, see, there are two ways to go about it. You can either try too hard to prove yourself, try to sell yourself to people, try to prove that you're awesome, or spend the same time and energy actually making yourself awesome. Then you won't have to run after people, people will run after you. And finally, last thing I want to say before I leave is a big shout out to my homies, the 3 founding fathers of stand-up comedy in Bangalore, Sanjay Manaktala, Sandeep Rao, and Praveen Kumar. I owe everything to these guys. Respect your seniors, that's one more thing. And with this, I leave you. Thank you very much. You guys have been a wonderful audience. Thank you.